my question is, well, you haven't done enough about it. I mean, you've been concerned about it. Where are the drastic reform? Where are the people getting fired for making, $400,000 salaries and unable to demonstrate where the money goes and what the performance is? That could be a part of the conversation in court. What is your response to this scathing audit from A&M? The other thing that's docketed for that court is, from the LA Alliance, is a motion to compel the city to comply with what they already agreed with in terms of our settlement commitments. Now, remember, when we settled with the city, we asked...
You had a lawsuit, you sued them, and you settled with them.
We settled with the city, we settled with the county. The settlement for the city was 12,915 additional beds. They could be permanent supportive housing beds, they could be shelter beds, they could be rapid rehousing. It's up to the city to determine that. We're just simply saying, where are the beds? Every quarter, the city has reported to the court what their progress has been. They've said, look, these are occupied now, more than 4,000 beds. That's great. They have a plan. They say, we have another 4,000 beds that are in the works. But they have nothing to say about the balance of beds that are neither occupied, created, or planned, another 4,000 beds. What's going to happen with them? The city is basically saying, look, we don't have any money. We're bankrupt. Now we've got the fires in LA to deal with. We can't respond to that. Well, that doesn't satisfy us as plaintiffs. It certainly doesn't satisfy the people who are experiencing homelessness in Los Angeles, who, the city is basically committed to additional beds. So we're going to encourage the court to find some other avenue to compel the city. And one of the things that Judge Carter has talked about, he's mentioned it a number of times, is this notion of receivership. I'm not a lawyer, but I know enough about receivership that basically what it means is that the court finds that the city and LAHSA are unable to do the job, so they're going to find somebody else to do the job. That would be a stunning blow to the city of Los Angeles and to the continuum of care. LAHSA, the people who are supposed to be responsible and coordinating for not only the money, but to make sure it gets to the streets.
Does the court have the power to do that?
Absolutely. We've seen it before here in California. If you remember, years ago, there was a grand jury that was set up about California's prison system and the overcrowding in the prison system. The grand jury made a report. They said, here's our findings. The state of California needs to do a better job with this. They need to do X, Y, and Z. They failed to do X, Y, and Z. So the court essentially took over management of the California prison systems to address the issues of overcrowding. We don't know if this is going to happen in Los Angeles regarding homelessness, but we do know that it's out there and it is something that could possibly happen.
What else could come out if this doesn't happen? So there's a chance that LA and LAHSA will lose the responsibility to deal with the homeless issues, and we probably will have a private, or is it going to be a private player, or is it nonprofit?
That remains to be seen, because it really is up to the court at that point. I think the court wants to be I think they want to tread lightly. I think they want to go slowly. But the finding of receivership is huge. Then how it actually becomes reality in terms of who will do the work, that is yet to be seen. So we don't know yet.
There was some reaction from county supervisors, some city council members to the audit. They were shocked by the results of it.
Well, some of them were kind of like, oh, we've always known about this. I think LAHSA put out a statement that's something that's like, oh, this is something that we've known since 2021 and we're making strides to improve. Mayor Bass made a statement of something like, oh, we've been working hard to deal with this and that's why homelessness is down 10%, the last point in time count. Well, I got news for you. A 10% decrease in LA's homelessness count is a rounding error. That's not significant decreases. In fact, when you've got 7 people a day dying on the streets of homelessness, if you multiply 7 times 365, it's more than 10% of the reduction that the city and LAHSA claim occurred during the last point in time count. But get over that. Here's my problem. The biggest thing that makes me upset is, where is the initiative? Where was the absolute, oh my God, we're being sued because we can't address the needs of the homeless? Where was the cry from the city of Los Angeles, from members of the city council that says, we've looked at the polling, we've heard the complaints from our constituents, they've talked about months and months of homeless encampments impacting their communities, impacting their businesses, seeing people overdose and die in front of their businesses or behind their businesses. Why has the city, why has the county acted with such business as usual? Well, let's take this to the committee and discuss it. If we really wanted to see the emergency FEMA-like response that the mayor and the county both enacted, they enacted emergencies on homelessness. I can tell you, I don't think the citizens of Los Angeles have seen an emergency response on the streets. And this is after we sued them, we settled them. They knew that the audit was coming. We knew that the auditors were going to do a good job in understanding this. And they're just kind of like, oh, ho-hum, it's business as usual.
Paul, you advise different states now in how to deal with homelessness. And how would we move forward? Based on what you've seen with this audit, what needs to get done to get the numbers down?
There's a movement that is going on across the country. On the one side, people think of enforcement measures. You know, we've even heard from the mayor of San Jose, no flaming conservative, no extremist, the mayor of San Jose saying, we can't get a handle on the increase in homelessness without enforcing the fact that these people shouldn't be camping and living and dying in public rights of way. And this was the whole point of the United States Supreme Court's Grants Pass decision that invalidated the Martin v. Boise decision. Don't want to get too legalese in here. But at one point, the Ninth Circuit Court made a decision that said, municipalities, you can't enforce your ordinances on sleeping and camping and lying in public for homeless people unless you've got enough shelter beds to accommodate them. And they're just not refusing to go. The United States Supreme Court vacated that decision, that standing by the Ninth Circuit Court, and said, no, it is completely within the rights of municipality to enforce ordinances, because when people go to people experiencing homelessness living on the streets and say, you can't camp there, they don't have a right to just flout the law and say, oh yes, we can, we're homeless. There's nothing in a homeless status that protects a homeless person from the conduct that is breaking the law.